Alright. Minotaurs are good for killing spawn. Not cost efficiently, actually. But, you know, if Zone actually brings Minotaurs and kills me, that would be huge. That would be huge. How are the chariots for Khorne? They're pretty good against Tzeentch, it seems. I saw they did a lot of damage versus Tzeentch. Like, they waffle stomp Tzeentch like it was no shot. Tzeentch got annihilated by chariots. If you want to have fun as Khorne against Tzeentch, take some chariots, guys. They're amazing. Yeah, Minotaurs, they probably technically trade up into spawn. If they're just one-on-one. But the fact that they cost more and the fact that they also die to halberds is a big problem. At least how I see it. Now, here's the thing. I have no reason to really do too much at the start of the battle, other than hide from Zone's Skull Cannon plays. It's gonna be a little bit awkward, but I think it'll be fine. And then all I have to do is capture the points at like 1 minute mark. Then we'll be good. I do have to be, in general, if you're playing against like a top level player like Zone, you want to be, I can't even see his army, but he can't see my army. It's true, they do have horns. Professor Pone, hello, happy to have you here. Legendary player, been around for a really long time. But yeah, generally what you want to do in this matchup, you want to capture your first point at 4 minutes. And then depending on how quickly your opponent captures the other points, you want to go a little bit sooner. He's going to go for the Spawn of Khorne Halberd stack. This is a Zone favorite. He loves going for those guys, so that's going to be quite interesting. Thankfully over here, I think my dog should be able to zone out his Skull Cannon. Ignore the puns, guys. It's too obvious. And then yeah, we should be fine. I think I foresee no problems. So far, we saw how the comeback mechanic can get leverage to get an advantage. Yeah, we did see a little bit of that in the last Khorne mirror. It is actually quite important when it comes to mirror matches, so you have to be careful. Enticity had a bright future. Yeah, the Skull Cannon. It's actually not a meme in this matchup. In terms of like, when it comes to facing up against my opponent here, it's there's a good chance that he can really get a lot of value off of this guy. Alternatively, there's also a chance that it does nothing. It really depends, because look at us, we're just hiding. We're hiding over here, there's no problem. Is he gonna shoot my cultist? Oh, he's shooting my cultist. You madman. Alright, let's catch him off. There we go. Yeah, what are you gonna do about that? I have dogs. Now, technically, this is a bad trading unit. But if I do actually get a little bit of biting damage on the back of the Skull Cannon, that is going to reduce his value ever so slightly. And that should actually result in a little bit of an upwards trade for me. Look at that, 22 value. Huge. That's the biggest value I've ever seen. Stream is rather laggy. Dang it. Yeah, I heard there was some lag today. That's unfortunate. Sadly, there's not really much I can do about it. Unfortunately. So I got him to summon some dogs. That's okay. I can run away though, and that's not going to really result in too much, I don't think. Yeah, I think I've just been having some internet issues is all. It's unfortunate, but there's not much I can really do. So he also has a herald. That's pretty fun. Oh, it has line of sight. Run! Run! No, he got value. He got 55 value. A shame, a shame. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna summon the Furies just to bully his dogs. Yeah, what are you gonna do about that, Zone? I got Furies. Yeah, that's right. You better run. You better run. The Furies are too scary. This is just a skirmish phase. Neither of us really want to cap for the next while, so. But I think this actually is a pretty good trade for me. Funnily enough, this is, that's quite nice. Yeah, look at that. His poor dogs just got annihilated, man. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of damage. Oh jeez, Louise. That value. That raw value. Insane. But yeah, now I do want to start moving into capture. So that means the summoning of units will begin. We'll grab these guys, bring them in a little bit. Furies should be able to fight these guys quite well. I do have a buff for my dogs. That's going to increase their melee attack by just insane amounts. The Skull Cannon hasn't traded too well, and I think we've already pulled a pretty good lead versus zone in the beginning phases of the game. Now I'm going to start capturing the points. Comeback mechanic won't be as much of a problem as armies get larger, so I'm not particularly worried about that. And then I just have to worry about the middle point in a decent amount of time. Now, he's not going for his back point yet, and I think that is a good call. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. The scary part is that his Skull Cannon does technically have full ammunition, so it will be able to sort of harass me a bit more. And I will have to worry about that, but at least he won't be able to desummon it or anything. Here we go. So that's point number 1 captured. And then, yeah, we just sort of wait. We bide our time, trade up, and should be no problem. 55 was from the dogs. He missed. Amazing. He does hit with that one, but I've actually already gotten a pretty nice lead. So I'm not too worried right now. That's another shot. I do want to take this fight, by the way, because I think his Skull Cannons are a little bit forwards. I guess there is a little bit of a worry. Do I only have force? Oh, I'm down 1 spawn. That's a misplay on my part. You generally want to have more spawn in this matchup, but that's okay. Yeah, we're just sort of waiting. He will start to trade up here in value, and he will desummon the Skull Cannon too. Thankfully, we did do a bit of poke damage to it, so it won't get nearly as much value as it could, but yeah, I think it really depends on how this fight goes. It really depends. At some point, I want to get this capture point, though, probably at the 1,000 mark. Looks like one of my spawns rampage too. That's nice for my opponent. Let's go ahead and grab some more Chaos Warrior Halberds. There we go. And nice, we can sort of start moving in towards this fight. So here's how you play out. Here's how you play Corn Mirror match fights. You want to be very careful about. You want to be very careful about the damage that you take. Here's the problem: is that I mean, not the damage that you take. You want to kill off bloodletters as well as you possibly can. So, like, the summons from the cultists will trade really well into you guys if you're not careful. So, I'm sort of keeping an eye on that. This is a nice sort of position for my opponent. You can see now he is starting to trade up. I do have a capture point, but you know what? I can probably just wait. Let's pull back with these spawn. Oh, and he rampages them. No. No, this is a good trade for my opponent, I would say. He's done quite well, and he's trying to bait me into this open field that I definitely don't want to take a fight in. But here's the thing. I might be able to start sniping his points, as I do have 2 dogs. We're going to summon them there. There's going to be a big fight here, so he's incentivized to summon and sort of assist in this scenario. And that'll mean that if I manage to triple cap him, we put him on a timer. So I do have that advantage, but of course I am also... I do have a ton of guys that are about to get surrounded here, which is obviously pretty terrifying. Oh, they unrampage. Sweet. Pull them back. Pull them back. I in no way want to take this fight right now. I want to stall into the high heavens. There we go. We're going to pull back. We're going to pull back into our little choke point here. No reason to rush. No reason at all to rush. All right, there we go. And I managed to steal this point too, which means that even though he's going to be getting the comeback mechanic, I should in theory be able to stop him from capping points for basically forever. Because look at these chokes. There's basically no way he's going to kill my lord. Dang it. That's not good. I pulled back everything except for my lord. Oh, well, that's really bad. Here's the thing, though. It's not the end of the world. I do have an advantage. That's so bad. That's so bad, losing your lord like that. That is catastrophic. Catastrophically bad. Jeez Louise. That is not a good thing. Here's the thing, though. I have managed to triple cap him. He's going to take a while to actually get these points. And there's a chance that he'll just take so long fighting my hordes and hordes of infantry. We should just win with a double cap. So I'm not especially worried, though I am a little bit worried because I did lose probably the most important tool in my army for nothing. But you know, no problem. No problem. Yeah, points galore. My opponent has a huge point lead right now. Absolutely massive point lead. But look at this. Look at this. I do have the capture weight advantage. Let's see. I do need to leave some spawn here, and I probably want more halberds in the back here. I don't think he'll steal this point from me anytime soon, as we do have some infantry pouring on in. Let's see. My dogs are gonna rotate over to try and give him some pressure on that side, and we do have Furies that can pressure his dogs too. So I think overall we might just win off of a stalling game. Actually, this is looking to play out like that, but it really depends. Let's see. Furies need to go in here. Halberds we really want to hurt his dogs because it's gonna lessen their capture weight by a ton. I think the Furies are great for that. But we'll see. He's going for it. He's going real hard. But I think I have just enough damage here. There we go. That's very good. Oh my gosh. This is very, very good. Look at that. He did a huge commit with his dogs to try and steal the point from me. But I'm going to get a way superior engagement here with my forces. That means that we will be able to hold the point for a rather long time. There we go. All his dogs are routing. And I will have a unit of halberds here to stall. But the problem is that we are sort of on our way to getting army wiped, which I do not look forward to. There we go. He does steal the point. Eventually. And I have this sort of last point to deal with. So it's not over just yet, but I do have this back point here, which is going to give him trouble. And I will win off a single cap. The problem is that it's going to take a very long time for that to actually, for this to actually play out. And over the course of the battle, it's quite likely that he'll be able to army wipe here, to army wipe me. And then we're just screwed. So I do have to be very, very careful here. Still, though, I think with the bloodletters and my dogs pooling on here, I should be able to steal this point, and that'll make Zone's life much, much harder. I have Spawn blocking him up. I have some more bloodletters in the way. We are stealing this point due to the higher HP on my doggos. So, yeah, I think we're good. I think we're still good, although this is going to be a very close fight indeed. There we go. I have managed to rout off his dogs. And it just comes down to this. How quickly can a man steal a point from another? This point is going to be my saving grace. This is going to basically ensure that I do get a fairly clean victory, as long as we do manage to hold it. I have a ton of units. And there we go. We actually have the capture. This is pretty huge. This is pretty huge. I have a lot of guys here that'll be able to hold. I have exalted bloodletters. Have very elite infantry, and Zone still isn't able to capture this back point. The Furies that got sent in to sort of bog him down have done amazingly. And then I have these dogs that are just sort of giving insane capture weight over here. They'll be able to rout off his own warhounds, which is great. And I have I even won over on this area, which is really big for me because it means that he basically won't be able to capture that back area. Nice. And all I have to do now is make sure that he never takes this point back, or essentially I make it as hard as humanly possible for him to steal that point back. And I don't think that'll be too difficult given the certain circumstances. Of course, these dogs, if they rout off, that would be very bad, but he doesn't have terror. And I think our plays may have done it. Despite trading rather badly, really badly, my opponent was a little bit too greedy, I would say. I think he took a tiny bit too long to steal the points, and I managed to abuse that in the end to just barely sneak the cap off of him. Very well played to my opponent, though. I think that was a very fun game. Very, very fun game indeed, Zone. Oh my gosh, you had me a run for my money, especially with that kill on my Lord early on. That was huge. But I finally get a spawn that I can summon and throw onto this point. We did it! We did it! Oh my gosh. And the big gambit to summon 4 dogs to capture this point, I think did him in. That was a really big gambit, but I still had units there and they ended up taking way too much damage. But like it was a very nasty play. Like it could have just annihilated me. But now we just have to hold this point for 2 minutes. Technically, it's in the realms of possibility that my opponent still manages to win this, so I will have to be a little bit careful. Let's see here. Yeah, look at these dogs. They're rushing me. I need to get Furies to rout them off. The Furies are great versus dogs because they can basically dive in on them from anywhere. And now they've taken so much damage that I don't think they'll really be too much of a threat. My spawn took a lot of damage from the Flesh Hounds, but they'll have it high enough HP to get over here. And then, of course, I have my 2 dogs coming on in to support this fight as fast as humanly possible. There are some more Warhounds, and yeah, he went a little bit too greedy on the Warhounds, I think. That's hurting him. There we go. GG. GG. Oh, that was such a fun game. Now, comeback mechanic is janky because you have to play around it so much, but undeniably it does result in some pretty fun shenanigans.